Hello everybody, Queen Crazy here, or Faye Thomas, whichever way you know me from. I'm here with my WWE Elimination Chamber 2011 predictions. I'm looking forward to this pay-per-view. However, on paper, I was a bit worried that there wasn't enough matches. I'm still a little worried because there are only 5 matches on the card. I know there are 2 Elimination Chambers in this, but I would have thought there'd be more, so I can bank on WWE sticking the US title match in there somewhere. Probably Daniel Bryan versus Ted DiBiase, something like that. Although I cannot be entirely sure at this moment. I'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, let's get straight into it. The first match I'm going to be taking a quick swipe at is the Tag Team Championship match, which was announced, I think, either last night or this morning, one of the two, between Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov, defending against Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater of the Core for the WWE Tag Team titles. Simply as it is, these two guys, Kozlov and Morella, have just ruined the Tag Team Championships by showing just how low down the championships are at the moment in WWE's priority. And to be honest, the sooner they get off them, the better. I know Santino is a funny guy, and the Cobra is the shittest finisher ever made in the history of the world, but I will think this. If Gabriel and Slater don't win, that'll annoy me because my WrestleMania plans are done. Because I was going to have this up as a WrestleMania match. Gabriel and Slater taking on McGillicuddy and Harris, or McGillicuddy and Otunga at this moment in time, for the titles Nexus versus the Core, which was a good idea. And if Heath Slater and Gabriel don't win, that's bad. It just shows that, oh, they're letting the popular guys win. They're not really popular. I fucking hate them. But anyway, yes, you hear my prediction on that one. Gabriel and Slater for the win. The Jobber Comedy team will finally die right there. And even though the Bleacher Report did state that they will not be leaving this event with the Tag Team Championships, I will agree with them wholeheartedly on that. Next up, Alberto Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston, and what I think will be a great match, because these guys, good in ring chemistry. One's a high flyer, one's a ground mace mat wrestler who can do some pretty damn good grapples. I'll be impressed. I like both guys. They should put on a really athletic match. I feel, though, Del Rio will get the upper hand for a lot of it, and it will build him with a win as a strong title contender for Mania. As we know, he's going to WrestleMania because of the Royal Rumble. But this match will also make Kofi look good. Yeah, you heard me right. Kofi is going to look good in this match, which prove that Del Rio is a good wrestler in the one point, and it'll give either him a good notion for an Intercontinental Championship defense or a Money in the Bank match at WrestleMania. It's simple. Kofi will either be in one of the two. And if this year the Intercontinental title gets a bit of coverage in a damn good match, then this should be fantastic for everyone watching, because we haven't seen one in a long time. And now I think we're going to have to get on the big stuff now. The Elimination Chamber match. This is the first one I'm looking at is the SmackDown one, because it's a little harder to get into conclusion with. Edge taking on Wade Barrett, Kane, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, and one unknown guy. Because if you weren't watching SmackDown last night, you would have noticed that Dolph Ziggler was fired by Teddy Long, which means there is one space left. Now, this throws my prediction completely out of the water, because I was going to say Rey Mysterio, because he's the only guy who has legitimate beef with Del Rio. Where does Edge and Del Rio have sure they had a small match at, I think it was that was between Edge and him and Swagger. So I don't know where these guys have a feud going here, apart from the fact that Edge happens to be the champion. There's no animosity between the two. It doesn't make any sense to me why Edge and Del Rio should go off the title. Del Rio just hasn't been in a feud yet with him. Okay, Christian was taken out of the picture. That'll forward Edge an incentive. But unless they're going to bring Christian back, which this opening space could suggest, there is no way in hell he could do this. Simple. I think Edge, I did say this in the Royal Rumble predictions vid, that Edge will not walk out of the Elimination Chamber the champion, but he would walk out of the Rumble the champion. I got that bang on, and I feel I'll get this one right as well. People thinking to me that Edge will win. I've heard people on the WrestleZone forum say, oh, there's a bound Edge has to win because it's just logical, because they're setting up a Del Rio Edge match. The hell spring a surprise on us. Edge will not walk. Every time there's an Elimination Chamber, and even if there's one title on the line, the title will change hands. It's obvious. And if it isn't going to happen, that'll ruin my expectations for the whole fucking pay-per-view. The other guys, let's take a look. Drew McIntyre has no chance in hell. Yeah, no chance in hell at all because he hasn't really been relevant. Even with the Kelly thing, now swinging over to Vicky Guerrero, I don't know what this guy's done recently to gain our attention, but he's done nothing to gain mine. So he's not going to be anywhere. Kane, unless it sets up a match with Undertaker after the 2-21-11 thing that happens the next night on Raw, this apart from that, he has nothing to contribute apart from being a big giant monster heel that just barrages and throws Mysterio through the glass, etc. You know how it's going to technically run out. Wade Barrett though, I'm not sure what to do with him. I am not sure where Wade will go. Sure, he's leader of the core. But if you look at where The Undertaker could come back, he has a bit of beef with him. Could go off that way. So I'm thinking Ray is really, apart from this mystery guy, the only person who could win this. In layman's terms. And I'm thinking, since Ziggler has been removed, this unknown wrestler, I don't know who he is, who he could be Christian. That would be, actually, in honest opinion, people have been spreading this rumour of the fact that Christian could return, either win the world title or help Edge keep the title. The best, and then have a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I would actually enjoy that quite a bit. And I think this is actually a good idea. Edge loses the title to Christian, right? Then he has a rematch clause, gets it in. Del Rio is the Royal Rumble winner. He's second to the World Heavyweight Championship. Triple threat match at Mania. Christian wins the title. Good idea. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening too much, which is a bit of a sad thing to say that I don't think Christian has a chance of winning. But yeah, it just matters in a small way. So at the minute, Rey Mysterio is my prediction. That unknown wrestler is in the back of my head, and I think he will have a shot. Just to think, it's only a little bit. But Mysterio is my main guy. It seems unlikely, because apparently they're putting him and Cody Rhodes in a damn match at WrestleMania. Ugh. I would not want to see that. But it's thrown out there. It's a possibility. It's an absolute possibility that this could happen. And I'm looking forward to it. Right, then we have the Raw Elimination Chamber. CM Punk, my boy, taking on Sheamus, R-Truth, Randy Orton, John Morrison, and John Cena to face either The Miz or Jerry the King Lawler at WrestleMania. This on paper and in literal reality is going to go like this. Cena is going to win to face The Miz at WrestleMania. Now, that's obviously been in plan since around December time. And I think by looking at the internet, I will know that. And it's just annoying how that is so fucking predictable. Because there's these guys in here have a chance of winning, apart from R-Truth, because R-Truth has, I don't know why he's in there. You could probably stick Daniel Bryan in for the Lord's sake of him possibly facing The Miz, his NXT Pro and big rival at WrestleMania. I'd kill to see them wrestle again, but that ain't gonna happen. So, yeah, but R-Truth, no, he's not in it. Sheamus will probably build up a feud for Triple H, but obviously, seeing as there are rumours going around that Triple H could face Undertaker at WrestleMania, is a slight problem. Because apart from that, Sheamus has nothing. He's dropped into mid-card hell, where he technically should have belonged a long time ago, before this fucking stupid King gimmick got dropped on him. Then we get to John Morrison, who people believe he's going to lose and go on to Money in the Bank. Sure, Miz versus Morrison is not a headliner at WrestleMania, but people would kill to see it, wouldn't they? Yeah, I'd love to see it. That last man standing hardcore match they had a while back at the start of the year was fantastic. I absolutely love that. And I think these guys have good in-ring chemistry in the ring. They've got history, which a lot of these guys do not have with Miz. And it just works out better. Randy Orton is apparently in a feud with CM Punk at the minute. So that means CM Punk and Orton cannot win this match by virtue of that. They'll screw each other out of it at the last minute. So, say Orton's covering Cena, so CM Punk does the GCS on him, falls over onto Orton, gives him the cover, or maybe members of the Nexus storm the chamber and cost him. That's easy to put forward, and then Punk gets limited by Cena for the win. The only problem I do have with this one, with Cena winning, is not only because I think, oh god, it goes Cena winning at WrestleMania again, but the one thing I think could happen is The Rock interferes, costs Cena, setting up the match between Rock and Cena that everybody wants to see. I think that would be worth its time because he wants to get into Cena's face. You heard it. You heard it from the Great One himself, and this past week, and therefore it could happen. It could, and it probably will. But that's just me predicting it. I will still sit down Cena winning because of what happened at the Rumble and the Champion of Champions match the following night. That sets up in virtue for what's going to happen. Makes sense. And then we get to the final match of the night, based on what they've announced. Jerry Lawler taking on Miz for the WWE Championship. In all certainty, this one's a no-brainer. The Miz is going to win because there is a huge amount of interference that could happen on behalf of The Miz, majority of it coming from Michael Cole and A-Rai, or Alex Riley, or whatever stupid random thing you want to call him. They are going to interfere, and they are going to interfere big time. However, when you look on the other hand, you've got people who can interfere on behalf of the King. JR could interfere. That is a bit of a long shot, but I think it could happen. Daniel Bryan interfering because knowing the history that The Miz and him have had, and of Jerry's support for him, makes a bit of sense. So in a way, that makes it out to be a level playing field there. I would love to see Jerry win, actually, because it would be great to say, finally, this legend has been given his time being rewarded with this championship win, and possibility of going to his first WrestleMania match in 20 years as champion. That would be a lovely, heartwarming moment. But at the same time, it would be me going, you made The Miz lose the championship to Jerry the King Lawler. That doesn't make any sense to me. And it makes Miz look weak because he has looked weak. His title defense so far have been cheating to start with. And I know he's built himself up now to be quite strong. And he's won a few damn good matches. And he's improving in the ring day in, day out. The only problem I have is if you make Miz look weak, it makes him look insignificant, and his time at the top of the WWE is going to go down. He will be in the shit if he loses. Because apart from a rematch at WrestleMania, which he'll probably take up anyway, what's he going to do? Because for honesty's sake, if Jerry Lawler wins, he'll probably lose it the next night to The Miz, thanks to interference by Cole, which will then set up the match between him and Lawler at Mania. And then of course the Cena thing could happen, and you know how it's all gonna go down. And it's easy to predict these last two matches that Raw produced. It seems like they've been made so I will say, oh, we've got a winner, but we're gonna spice things up and have the person who you thought would win lose the match. That's basically what's going to happen. So I've got Miz down as my prediction because it seems the most logical thing to do. And that is legitimately just about it. So I'm going to watch the pay-per-view on Sunday. I will give you the results and views video on Monday, actually. Give it to you on Monday. I'll have to upload it in one big video this time. I am not going to post up two-part videos. So that's that. So if any of you guys know, there's my MSN is in my profile thing. If you want to talk to me during the pay-per-view, if you want to talk to me about this pay-per-view in any form, wrestling questions, anything, just add me to MSN, talk with me. Simple. And I'm hoping to God you do. The one thing though about this pay-per-view that I mentioned before in the video I did previously, yeah, the Elimination Chamber is just tame, apart from a few high spots. This probably will be a shit match and a shit pay-per-view generally. I'm looking forward to it, but my expectations are slowly dropping with every realisation of how shit this could be. But I'm thinking, this pay-per-view has thrown up surprise and surprise every year. Last year, I wouldn't have thought Batista would beat Cena shortly after he won the damn title. That was something else. So if I think about it, this could throw up a few little surprises. If The Rock does come in and attack Cena, I will go completely nuts. Yeah, I will go completely nuts, and I'll probably do the biggest mark out I've ever done in my life, because it'll be awesome. And I also have a little bit of news to tell. I might be going to WrestleMania next year. I feel it's out of my college time, and therefore it seems logical for me to do it. Just want to update you on that. I will see you guys Monday. I am looking forward to this pay-per-view. I hope you are as well. And in all goodness, I hope this at least doesn't warrant me having a dud match, or a 0 out of 10 match, or whatever. I don't want this pay-per-view to have any problems with it. But It's WWE and their pay-per-view standards have been shit, so what more can I expect? I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good weekend, and goodbye.